Yeah, this is a pretty bumpy section, and it rides very nice.
Yeah, it doesn't really ride.
Car.
I don't remember what it rode like with the small tires, but I don't think it's any worse. Now that with those stiffer springs. What do you think?
Well, I think we've got a car. It drives okay now. We haven't played with any of the software settings. We haven't fixed the steering, done anything particular about the brakes, and I've already adjusted to the car. It works fine.
Yeah, it's definitely drivable. It feels good. We've got some liquid cooling for our controller and our motor. We are rolling.
Got a lot of little lights here we need to take care of. Our speedometer works. No tachometer yet. Our U-Vision's a little messed up, but I think we can get that mostly worked out.
Back down the sunny lane to EVTV land. Hopefully that's not trademarked. It's like Disneyland. We have arrived.
Brain, that's a pretty good drive. I think we've got a car rolling, and I've got that EV grin now.
No EV
Well,
chagrin.
not much more. Yeah. I think we're in pretty good shape. A lot of little things to work off.
We do.
So you've got the headlights on now.
Yeah, we've got headlights on. We'll start. They'll have to come off again, but they're here just in case you get a wild urge to drive at night.
Yeah, I might want to go out.
That's what I'm figuring.
Get liquored up.
There you go.
Have a little drinking drive.
Yeah.
We've been kind of a long road with that adapter plate and that drive shaft. You've done well with that.
Well, thanks. We got it. We got it nailed down.
And with a little help. Speaking of which, I got a call from Peter Knopf. He is the president of a company called CB, C-E-B-I.
Okay.
CB UK, United Kingdom, and CB US. They own MESDA.
All right.
And he was wanting to fix her problem, refund all her money, and get his motor back. I told him it was in the car.
Now it's working.
Thank you. Yeah. And where were you 6 weeks ago? But he didn't want to retrace past. He admitted there were some mistakes made in the support. Apparently, I'm not in any danger.
Oh, and, called off the hit. All
and
right.
he wants to be buddies. And so he's offered to pay for the machining we had done on the adapter plate. What was that? About $750?
$500.
500.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
You're not out much, Peter.
Yeah, that's right.
And I do appreciate the gesture. More importantly, he gave me a technical contact in MESDEA.
Oh, that's good, because we needed one.
And we can send him
Good.
question. Victor had never run the software, never used the motor, didn't know anything about it, and we were pretty much on our own. We're pretty much on our own until he mentions to us everything we've done wrong.
Right. Yes.
But Peter wants to patch it up. He's given me a contact where we can get authoritative answers on.
Good.
So that's the kind of support you need to have, is the ability to get spares, have questions answered, and I'm a much happier camper. Thank you, Peter. I did mention that I'd mentioned that on film.
All right, great.
And so we're all good with MESDEA. He did kind of explain it. Do you remember I told you about the salt batteries?
Yes. The molten salt. Yep, molten salt.
375. That's SAFT. They're part of MESDEA. The Zebra battery.
The Zebra. Okay.
And the week we developed our problem happened to be the same time they were selling that segment of the company to Forenza SA, another company.
Okay.
And things were not.
Right.
There was some chaos in MESDEAville
Everybody was scrambling
over who was going to have a job,
Right.
what parts were going to be kept, what parts were going to be sold. I've been through this. It is chaos, and you spend most of your time passing rumors, not
Right.
taking care of customers.
Yeah.
And so
All right.
that happens in every company. So it may have just been a function of timing. The head of the company wants to make it good. That's pretty good support. And so we're pretty happy with it. The car, we're rolling. It's operating. We have a cooling system, batteries, charger. It all works. We're down to a few things. I'm going to wire this PWM motor thing into the controller, where it works off the fan enable, cooling fan enable signal from the controller, and that way it'll turn it on when it needs cooling and not when you're parked at the stoplight and it doesn't need any.
Sure.
And that should cut down our DC
Good.
consumption some. I need to find out about that steering. This
Right, our power steering, yeah.
Yeah, it's called EPAS, Electronic Power Assisted Steering. Fairchild Semiconductor kind of came up with this. I'm not sure about this BMW implementation, but it mostly works off a CAN bus. If any of our viewers know anything about that, we'd sure like to hear about it, because I'm in for a tough day with the Google thing to try to figure out how that works and come up with a strategy to soften up that steering a little bit. We're going to have to tune our controller parameters a little bit more. I've got to go through the book. Now I have a technical contact where I can ask about the interplay between them and so forth. And so we'll work on that a little bit. And the rest of it, I guess you've got to get the piece parts back on here. And what other open items do we really have? Tachometer.
Tachometer, yes.
I heard from a viewer who does some CAN bus, has a little CAN bus device for PCs and cars, and he says he may be able to help me take this tachometer signal out of the controller and put it on the CAN bus so our tachometer works.
Oh,
that
good.
would be pretty cool if we can get it done.
Okay.
So one of the advantages of doing all this in public is we get lots of help sometimes. a lot of suggestions.
That's right, a lot of suggestions.
But some of them have been very good, and we appreciate them, and all of them. Even though we can't do the same thing 6 different ways,
right.
Sometimes
have to
I feel
pick
a little
one.
Inundated. We have to pick one, but it's actually been a kind of a neat experience. And so if any of you have any ideas about the there's a dynamic stability control system, I'd kind of like to get the fuel display to work. It's got to be some sort of little PWM signal from the gas tank, I would think. It's not the old float resistor thing, I can tell you that, but we might be able to get that work. So we've got some little indicators and gauges we need to work on along the way, but the car's rolling, and I'm pretty thrilled with it. Again, You know, I love the speedsters, and they're simple. You're dealing with the traction pack,
Right.
not with the gas tank display and this, that, and the other. But this is an all-weather car. We've got all the electronics up high.
Yes.
We got heat. We're going to have air conditioning as soon as we have it charged. And a couple of hoses hooked up. That we still have to do, but there's no questions about that. We take it down to Earl's